Welcome to the Musicians Book Club, a new video series which is tailored to those of you who consider yourself being in one or a combination of the following three areas. If you are a lifelong learner, music practitioner, or performer. What's going to happen in these videos, in a very short format, a couple of minutes, I'm going to present for you key takeaways, key ideas, bite-sized pieces of information, actionable items from the books, either written by musicians, for the musicians, or general knowledge. But books that I know super good and too important, too good, too beneficial to be ignored, especially these years when lots of information is available at our fingertips. So, without any further delay, in this video I'm going to be presenting two main ideas that I discovered in the first chapter of the Becoming the Instrument, the newer book by Kenny Werner. And the two main ideas are going into the space and, as he says, in order to play better, we need to care less. And then I really love this idea, and I'm going to say it right away, and I'm quoting the book. I looked for God everywhere, and when I stopped looking, I found him. So first of all, the idea of going into the space, I will provide you the blueprint of how to enter the space, so to speak. But it's very similar to being in the state of flow. You may be familiar with that term, and even if you haven't somehow heard that term before, quite sure you have experienced being in such a state in your lives. Is whenever you're doing something and you're so absorbed in doing it that you stop noticing the passage of time. To provide you a brief example. Now, the idea of playing better and we need to start caring about what we do, we find identical idea if we look into quantum mechanics literature, in particular Transurfing of the Reality by Vadim Zeland, where he says in order to achieve something that you want to achieve, you need to start approaching this as if it wasn't important to you. Because the moment you start putting too much importance on that, there are going to be other forces that's going to be counteracting your efforts. So, in a spirit to keeping this video short, I will give you the blueprint of how to enter this space, and then the final quote for the end. And in the future videos, we're going to explore more chapters and more outtakes from them. But here is the actionable item, how to enter this space. Just like in a meditation, if you start noticing or being aware of your breathing, so start noticing that you are breathing. The idea is you can't notice that you're breathing while you are thinking. He's comparing it to, he's actually applying this idea to playing the music. And the idea is we need to simply observe making music, not let our brain and our thinking or our concerns or our self-critical thinking disrupt the process. So back to breathing. If we start thinking about something, we stop noticing that we are breathing. When we are continuing to notice that we are breathing, then there are no thoughts. In the same way, we need to observe your playing. So, in your practicing today and in the coming days, I encourage you to, before you start playing, take a moment for 1 or 2 minutes, start observing your breath, start noticing it, and pay attention that you don't have any other thoughts while doing that. And then try to apply the same approach to the first notes you're going to press. I'm going to end this video with a quote, and then I will see you in the next chapter. I'm going to jump to chapter number 3. But until then, the quote is, if you play from the space, you might make a mistake, but you could never go wrong.